what is going on? This is Levi the Apparel. Like and subscribe. Feels weird without my bed, but I get to get it back. Oh man, I'm so excited. 8 years of service to the Army done. And now I just get to sit back and enjoy. All right, what is going on? If you're here, like and subscribe. I'm doing another road talk. Hey, also, they put out this like thing where if you are I'm on the road and there's like a lot of potholes everywhere, so I gotta try to dodge as many as I can. If not, I may have a busted tire. This is crazy. This always happens like immediately after they plow the streets, and like within a week or two they like repave the road and things are back to normal. But yeah, so all right. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about a few things. I finally got things set where I can actually do what I promised, because oh man, that week of sublimation really I had to cancel an order because of that machine. So if you didn't know, around I think it was around February, I had said I was gonna do an all over sublimated shirt. So what ended up happening was I purchased an Epson 7620, but the person who sold me the Epson 7620 only told me that they've maxed out the ink life, not ink life, the tank life. So I'm gonna need a new one. So I purchased a new maintenance tank, and after purchasing the new maintenance tank, what ended up happening was the printer started printing, and I did a few prints. Afterwards, it just died. It stopped working. I had purchased it from where was it again? I had purchased from, it was what's that place called? Oh, eBay. Sorry. So I purchased it from eBay. I got Amazon to bring, so I barely purchase things from eBay. If I do, I know they're going to suck. And since eBay doesn't have much, doesn't give you much interaction as far as like when you call somebody or when you try to call the company, they tell you to go online to talk to people and email and stuff like that. So yeah, I prefer Amazon. But anyways, so what happened was this, right? I purchased a press earlier. It stopped working. So what I attempted to do was convert my Epson 7710 to sublimation. Now, when you go from DTF ink to sublimation, you have to clean out the whole system, because if you don't, the sublimation ink and the regular ink of the DTF, it's going to cause a clogging issue, and especially since DTF ink tends to clog often, it's going to gum up your machine. So I did a few printhead cleanings. I bought a what's that thing called? A cleaning kit. After I purchased the cleaning kit and did a few printhead cleanings, were back up to par, and I was able to do my first print. But what happened before that was my prints weren't really coming out. Like it just kept on printing. I think it was like magenta and cyan. And since it was just printing the magenta, blue, cyan, red, right? I didn't understand. Sometimes it would print out the yellow. I didn't understand why it wouldn't print the black. So what ended up happening was like the printer did not recognize some of the cartridges because I was doing the printhead cleaning and do the printhead cleaning. I have to turn off the printer while it's attempting to do a printhead cleaning. Yeah, my printer eventually realized the issue, was able to like help me rectify it, you know, by telling me to remove all the cartridges, put it back. I removed everything, I put it back, and immediately the printer started printing all the colors beautifully. My print head was amazing. If you're here, like and subscribe. This is Levi Apparel. We're just doing a daily minute, right? And I'm basically talking about the past, and I'm going to talk about the present and what's going to happen in the future with Levi Apparel. All right, so yeah, so as I was like printing, like everything came out beautifully. Like my Epson 7710 was like, yo, we've been in this since the beginning of the channel. We gonna ride or die. You know what I'm saying? Like the printer was like, yo, we're going to print. We're gonna do a good job printing, and we're gonna make things happen. Because it's all over print. I gotta do it. So that's a future video. But now, like I have freaking extraordinarily. Let me take my hat off. Like now, I have extraordinary amount of time, and I can do more things without worrying about going to drill, getting ready for the army, having to leave for whatever amount of days, weeks, you know, and I can just focus on growing the business, right? So what I'm trying to say is like, thank God I made it through. I came out successful. Now the next goal for me personally is to go back to school, finish my degree that I had already pretty much. So with all that said, like the channel is gonna move in a different pace. I'm also gonna get some more people involved as far as like helping out with the tutorials, creating stuff, you know, young people, old people, whatever in between, right? Because I want, this is like a family business type of thing where everybody can be involved. And the main focus of this channel is DIY how to do, right? Now, here's the thing, right? I was watching this thing where this guy was talking about like, why would you teach somebody what you do when you're just gonna saturate the market, right? Meaning you're gonna put a lot of people in the market doing the same thing that you do, and at the end, you're not gonna have enough customers. Well, here's the thing, when it comes to like t-shirt printing, it's a $1 billion business. It's so much so that every year equipment gets sold out. Every year, people are always purchasing, and especially now that you have places like for educational purposes, places that recycle t-shirts. For example, you have Goodwill, which is one of those big companies that take old clothing or clothing from stores that they couldn't sell, and what they do is they give it to Goodwill as a non-profit donation. And because I've done it also, right? I make shirts that you've seen me make, and then after that, like I just donate to Goodwill. Why? Because it helps you get a what's that thing called? A write-up, like a write-off. So if you made a lot or you made somewhat of a decent amount of money, you can like donate to donations, and donations help you towards like bringing down what you may owe or how much you may pay back, right? I'm not a tax professional. Talk to your tax accountant; they'll give you further information. Anyways, so yeah. With that said, let's check out who's here. Oh, nobody said hi. Come on, say hi. Anyway, so with all that said, like when it comes to like the market, you cannot saturate it. Customs journey. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for saying hi. All right. So when it comes to like this journey, like we can put out us content creators or YouTubers, we can put out like 1 million videos on how to make a shirt from scratch, how to design a shirt from scratch, how to sell a shirt from scratch. It's not going to affect us. Why? When I was like really doing stuff and I had like a lot of shirts to make because a client had ordered like 100 shirts. This was like in the beginning, I think it was like 2015 or something like that. When I was just doing it as like a hobby, whatever. Somebody ordered like 100 shirts. I was like dumbfounded, like I didn't even know how to get all that shirt. I thought like I was gonna get like 1 or 2 shirts, and because I didn't have the full amount of equipment to actually do it, I had to actually outsource it. Right? I created the artwork, I prepped everything, and all the person did was get the image, put it on a shirt, and that was it. So in this industry of t-shirt business, there's enough for you and me, right? And at the end of the day, no matter how much I teach you or I tell you on how to be more successful than me or anybody else, or how to grow like me or anybody else, right? You will grow regardless what happens. And if I play my card right, I'm gonna grow no matter what happens to you, whether you grow or not. Because at the end of the day, there's enough work for everybody. So we're gonna start from the base. You need shirts. Why? Because your shirts sometimes rip or they fade, or you just want another shirt, right? So guess what? You're gonna be purchasing from somebody, and that somebody probably is not the one making the shirt. They probably outsource it to another company that has all the big machines that make it, and then sends it to you with their label and right? So everybody's eating from just a purchase you made, who's just sitting there, right? The retail makes money, everybody makes money, right? Now, you decide to get in the game, you start making money, but you don't have the equipment. You're gonna have to outsource your work so you can get it done, because there's some equipment that you don't have and some things that you can't do, so you're gonna have to ask another company to make it for you, and then you're gonna resell it to the customer, right? So there is tons of work for everybody. Now, you making shirts, right? I started with you, who's purchasing the shirts. Now you making shirts. Guess what? Your first customer is gonna be your loved ones. Might be your wife or your husband who wants a shirt to wear, or your kids, and then eventually it moves to second family members, which is like your brothers and sisters, mom and dads, right? And then it goes to third, your cousins, uncles, grandparents, right? I think grandparents might be in the first and second and third, who knows? And then from there, it goes to your family members' friends. And then from your family members' friends, it goes to a potential company that they work for, which then gives you, what's that word I'm looking which gives you like work experience on your t-shirt craft, you know, that now other companies are going to be asking for you because that company had a good, you know, a good time, or they like the experience. So now they're ordering from you because of what they see on the review, or what the other company had told them, because that company may have somebody who's wearing a shirt from that company and then goes to visit a family member, and then they say, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Oh, I got it from this company. That's what to our company. And now you're getting work without even knowing it. It's just getting promotion after promotions, right? Free promotions, advertising. So when those works start coming in, eventually you're going to have to upgrade your equipment. But while it's coming in, you don't have the equipment. You're going to have to outsource some of the work to be able to produce it, bring it in, and give it to the customer. So at the end of the day, anybody that says, why are you making a video about what you do for business when you're just going to create more competitions for yourself? When it comes to the shirt game, there is no competition. There's only friends. Like, not to put out any names, but there's a YouTuber that I had sent an embroidery file to create my embroidery design of my, you know, what do you call it? My logo. And the reason why I did that is because I was working on a YouTube video, and I needed that time to focus on getting it done. I also needed that time to focus on like putting some extra work on my website and some other stuff. So that little bit of extra time that I didn't have to spend on creating the logo really helped out, because now I have more time in my hands. And when he delivered it, it was so beautiful. I'm gonna be doing a video about that too. So like I said, I was gonna give you some future information. So what's coming up is this, right? I'm finishing up my embroidery classes and the online classes that I have. It doesn't take long. You can do it in one day. But I'm constantly, my schedule, especially with the Army, like with work, family, it has been like extra busy. Now that I'm able to free a little bit of time and not have to worry about certain things, I can actually focus on like getting those classes done. Like I said, you could do them in one day. I think they're like at least an hour long each minimum. And I say that because you may want to rewatch the video to see what they're talking about. Because sometimes when you take the test, you may think you know, but you don't know, and then you end up not doing great. But also it's good to review it over and over to understand what it's talking about. So when you're using the embroidery machine, you can actually be able to embroider the correct way. And not think the machine is a problem when it's just operator error, right? So I'm finishing up those classes. Like I said, you can finish it in one day. It doesn't take that long. But I'm just taking my time to just digest everything and then do it at my leisure, you know. But yeah, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to be doing like a lot more embroidery, and that gives me time because somebody had wanted like something done, like a couple of hats. So I'm going to need to definitely know about hat grouping and stitch counts and all these different things to be able to do this for this potential customer. Who knows if it happens or not. They reached out to me, I gave them the quote, and it's all up to them from here, you know, to hit me up back. So, you know, we got a lot going on, and who knows. Currently right now, things are a little slow at Levi Apparel because, like I said, I'm building the base down. Like for me, this business is like a house. I poured the foundation. Now that I have the foundation, I'm putting in like the, what do you call it, the structure, like the sticks, the wires, the wood, the wires, any type of metal that may be needed, and once all the structure gets set up, then it's going to be the walls. And once the walls are set up, little paint here, little paint there, right? So like I said, like I'm using it in an analogy. So the foundation is starting up the business, starting up the YouTube, getting the Instagram, getting the TikTok, all the social media set up, purchasing the equipment, right? That's so basically getting the business out there, the brand, the name, the logo, the LLC. So I got that offset, right? That's the foundation. Now the structure is actually the machines. The machines are here, the structure is set. Next is what I needed was like to be able to set them up in a way so it's not just me that's using it. I can have anybody come in to use it, and I've done that with my press, with my all the video tutorials that I've done. If somebody has an issue, they just go on the video, check it out, and bam, they know how to do it. Right? So now when it comes to like the paint and making the place look good, that itself is getting recognition, and also getting contracts, having people come in, check out the channel, and getting people to notice what's going on, because people only check a house after it's built. We have a they call that a walk-in or something like that. So now the shop is ready, it's good, equipments are working. I've done a lot of like back and forth work with some of my equipments that's not working up to par. I fixed them, so now they work up to par, So this whole time with the company, I've just basically been building it. So eventually when it starts, I'm not running into congrats. Oh, thank you. I'm not running to get equipment because a customer wants, like for example, my friend wanted the all over shirts. I was trying to convert my HPT 100 that does 24 by 48 by 150 inches to actually print sublimation. However, it did not want to print sublimation because the way the jets work on HP, it warms up the ink and not a lot of the HP, the sublimation ink gets laid on, so it doesn't really look all that great. So because of that, I couldn't do like all over prints, but I can still do all over prints in a different way. I just can't match colors exactly because I have to piece them together, and when you piece things together, they don't come out similar colors, especially if you got an Amazon press like me, because like the heating range can vary, but I set it a little bit higher, so just in case the heating range may be higher or lower, it's still released at an even distribution. So yeah, so either way, I have capabilities to do that, and if somebody wanted posters, whatever, I can do that, because the company that I'm after, the B2B business that I'm after, are mostly hospitals, because that's my niche. This is where I work. I understand, for example, I work in the lab. I understand lab week, right? Yeah, I understand lab week, which is all about the lab. And when it's lab week, the image is already there by the FCP, if I'm saying it right. And they provide the logo, and all you do is just put it on the shirt. or you can customize it the way you want, but you're gonna have the logo on there. Everything else can do whatever you want, right? So there's different ways of doing things, and that industry, but also within the hospital, there's other departments that they don't celebrate at the same time. You know, the lab celebrates differently. They celebrate Lab Professional Week around towards the end of April, right? Then you have Nurse Week that follows that. Then you have professional workers or whatever, right? Whether it be CNA or other stuff. And also you have like housekeeping. You have all these different departments, intricacies and stuff, that they have months that they celebrate certain things. And I'm privy to that. I understand that because I work in that location, so I know what's going on. So my niche is the hospital. So that's why I've been purchasing all these equipments. I've been getting myself ready. And then on top of that, if I can get a contract for where I work, to give them shirts and stuff. Now, here's the beautiful thing, right? Even though I work in the hospital, I don't work in the department that may need shirts. So technically, it's like a brand new customer, you know? Sure, they're people that I know, but they're not the same people that I would normally work with in my department. So, like, I have sky's the limit of departments I can choose and advertise to, because I have certain people that I know that I can probably be like, yo man, talk to the manager, let them know I do this and that. Just check out my video. As a matter of fact, I have a video I have to do to commercialize my work. By commercialize, I mean like to advertise what I do, as far as like what this machine can do, what that machine can do, what I can offer, and what are the discounts, and how I can improve the way you get things, you know? But mostly, I would say anybody that works in a location that has departments within departments, to try and get business there. Don't necessarily leave your job because, you know, you wanna live the dream of being your own boss. First, try to get contracts. Once you get contracts, and if you see within like, I think minimum 3 to 2 months, you're making way more, like quadruple more, not triple, quadruple more what you're making, right? You got, I'm not saying twice because that would be double, right? I'm not saying 3, I'm saying quadruple, because you want to see what you're making double, because you have to pay for, because if you were to get out and do it on your own, you still have to pay for your mortgage, which is the same thing as paying for a shop or your apartment. You still have to pay for your electricity, overhead. You still have to pay for all these things. I know because I've actually had a shop, well, more like a shop office space in an actual location. I've stayed there for, I think, about close to 6 months. And within that time frame, I was paying for everything, light, like heat, electricity, the actual place, space, all that stuff. And what I noticed during that journey that I took is when you, like I say this, when you have your own place, your own shop, it's great. But when you have a job that can help you out in building your company, it's even better, especially if you can get business from where you are to start out. Because what you could do is within the 2 to 3 years that you're there, remember you're getting quadruple the amount. You take double from that quadruple, right? You just take like twice of what you're making and you just put it away. Like, in other words, you cut it in half and you just put it away. And as you put it away within a month, right, you should have at least close to I'd say maybe at least close to 6 months worth of emergency money. So in case you decide, you know what, I need more time to perfect my craft and actually deal with more customers, having this second job or having my 9 to 5 is an issue, let me get out of it. At least you have money to fall back on, and as your customers are increasing your money, you don't have to worry because now you have backup money, you know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you take care of that before you actually leave, because and although before you think like not sharing or helping others learn, because in this YouTube space our job is to help each other. This is a place where you can come and be like, man, I wonder how I can do this, and then bam, the video pops up and you start watching it, and then just return the favor, because you might see a video that pops up, but you're like, man, I wish the guy had like timestamps. Here you are putting timestamps now, where you can actually go to the section, the space, and and see. And actually, sorry, focusing at the same time talking. So people go to your timestamp and have exactly what they need and move on, right? As opposed to watching the whole video and then finally getting to what they need, right? So you might do the video even better with better quality and with more explanation than the other guy, you know? So yeah, okay, so that's that. Now let's talk about some present day things that's going on. All right, so present day things that's going on is, so I got the heat press machine. Remember I said I didn't need it, but I wanted it. From having it, like being able to have an auto press that's automated compared to a swing away that you have to lift up, press down, and then wait for it to beep and then remove it. I felt like I was kind of like prisoner to the image and the shirt, because had I decided to do something else, the machine would have just kept on beeping, and then let's say like something tripped me up and I fell and I need to get up and go to the machine. This is an exaggeration, but like I'm help you understand, like time is important when you don't have an auto press, right? Because you have to devote all your time to a manual, you know, because it does what it says. It's manually operated. Without you, it can't do nothing, right? So yeah, so with the auto press, I can walk away from the machine. I can go look for, let's say if I was doing the shirt, somebody calls like, yo, hey, I want to do submission and I got like 100 shirts. No, I want like some sportswear. I got like 100 shirts. I don't care if the shirt's white. I just want the images on there. Now, whenever you talk about sports, you need to use a method that the ink will not leave the shirt, because if it does, from like the players roughhousing, like, you know, hitting each other, rubbing each other, or just like contact, that would cause the image to just rub and be removed. You want to make sure you get on top of that, so your brand can be seen as like the best. And whenever you're doing sports, it's always good to go to sublimation. The reason why is sublimation doesn't leave the shirt. As a matter of fact, if you can sublimate a shirt all over, even bleach won't harm the shirt, because the shirt's already white, and the sublimated shirt, the sublimated image doesn't really get affected as much from the bleach. Now, if you leave it in a pool of bleach all day, of course the image is gonna eventually start fading off. But if you just like accidentally washed it with bleach or whatever, it doesn't go away. If like you're using bleach products to clean your area because you're a company and you need to make sure your location is like really clean because you're like a kitchen or something like that, the bleach product doesn't affect your shirt. It doesn't affect the image. Unless you're wearing a colored shirt, then it'll try and move the color. The image constantly, because when you do things in moderation, you're fine. But when you do things in aggressiveness all the time or constant, there will be an effect, a cause and effect, right? So, yeah, back to the heat press. So now that I have the heat press machine, I'm doing a lot better. And one of the reasons why I went for the Amazon press is because of this, right? I'm purchasing all these equipment, right? But what a lot of people don't know is like I purchase an equipment, I put on my taxes, I get the money back, and then I purchase more equipment, and I keep doing the same thing every year until up to now, where I now have adequately everything that I need for the business to grow and not have to at least change equipment for a good while, unless I move to a bigger space, then I would look at changing equipment because I need to do more production, right? So currently right now, the heat press I have allows me to be able to walk away, do other things, get other shirts ready, and then just throw it on there, push it down, auto press activates, pulls it up. While it pushes the heat plant up, I'm fixing another shirt, pop, 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 right? Lining it up, lining the image, putting it on there, heat pressing it again. Yeah, heat pressing it again, and then like not having to worry about like the image getting burned onto the shirt or the shirt getting burned or fire being caused because like overheating of the shirt, right? So that's why I say now I needed the auto press. I didn't even realize that until I purchased it. This is more of a need than a want, and I'm glad I listened to my gut and I went with it. Also, it's going to be good to have this because I can now try to focus on making more money to be able to pay off my my basically debt for my embroidery machine. Okay. This was a finance. So I say finance because I get to keep it. Lease is you pay it out and then they take it out. They take it back. So yeah, man, like we're doing big things with Levi Apparel. We're moving forward, but now I finally have the equipment. I can actually go to any company and get a contract, and I have to worry about like, oh, what am I gonna do? I got this little heat press, and they want a 13 by 19. Oh snap, man, what am I gonna do? Like, my press is 16 inches wide, bro, by 20 inches long, bro. So whatever you want, you got. You know what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, right? So this is current use. Oh man, I gotta tell you what happened. So I ordered my automatic press, right? 16 by 19, and I got it. But before I ordered that press, I had placed an order for a 15 by 15. Now the reason why I purchased the reason why I canceled my 15 by 16 15 by 15 heat press, automatic heat press with the semi-auto. It's called semi-auto because if you look at my video I just released about my heat press, the unboxing, there's a magnet component that's there, and it's the magnet that releases, and then the hydraulics activate and lift up the heat press. Now when you turn off the magnet part, which you just flip it upside down, now there's no magnet activity. It's not, it can be magnetized. When the heat press goes on, the magnet doesn't know to release or not. The heat press stays locked, so it doesn't go up. It's like having a manual press. I thought about that and I was like, that's a good idea. This would be good for sublimation. But if you're doing sublimation, the only thing that matters is how you keep that sublimated image on. Now, anybody that's doing sublimation, if you don't have heat tape, you need to get heat tape. Why? No matter what kind of press you use, auto press, semi-auto, or even what's that thing called, a manual press. That's funny, I forgot manual. Yeah, so with all these different presses, at the end of the day, all that matters is how you keep it on the shirt. It doesn't matter about the press. Don't listen to anybody that says, oh, you got to get a manual press, because if you don't have a manual press, the image is gonna when you lift it up, it's gonna flutter or go elsewhere, and before you know it, you're gonna have issues because of ghosting. No, with sublimation, you want to get heat tape, no matter if it's a shirt, a mug, a hat, to keep the image on there correctly, because your hands will not always be there to put pressure so you can stay in one place. And let's say somebody opens a door in your shop and like the wind itself ends up blowing the image out of the location that it's supposed to be, then you automatically get ghosted, right? So it's not so much the heat press machine. It all has to do with you, on how you keep the image on your shirt, regardless if you have a manual, a semi-auto, or automatic heat press. It's the same process. All right, I said all that because I wanted to tell you why I got the 16 by 20. So I was watching a fellow content creator or YouTuber's channel, and while watching what's his name, or what he calls himself, E's channel, I seen him with a 16 by 20. And he's like, yo, what's going on, guys? I'm about to submate this shirt, this and that, know what I mean? And I got my 16 by 20 auto press. I'm about to heat press this on. I'm like, wait a minute. I was taught by these other content creators, like, you should have an arm press. You should have a manual whenever you're doing sublimation. And then I had to think about it and recall and be like, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. Because when I'm doing sublimation, I was taught always tape it with heat tape, because if you don't, it's going to go everywhere, regardless what type of heat press you have. So this is why I canceled my semi-auto 15 by 15 heat press machine, and I purchased the 16 by 20. Now what happened, I said all this story to tell you this point. Like, what happened is, even though I canceled the order, I called Amazon to cancel the order. Apparently, it was a third-party provider, and because it was a third-party uh, provider, whatever, or seller, Amazon had no control over their cancellation policy. And I'm surprised because for a big company like that to give you that much leeway and for you to have that much ability to choose if a person can or can't cancel, that says a lot about Amazon. That's what I like, because now if I have my policy and I have a no return policy, because majority of stuff I do is custom design, and the company that I'm working with says, I'm working through as a third party provider, that be the one that's offering me the space, says no, you can't do that, you have to give the money back. I would be kind of pissed, because I'm like, wait a minute, I already did the design and put in all this work, and now I have to like just give it for free? Like, nah. But in this case, this was a machine. Regardless if they make their machines or not, they didn't make it personally for me. So that's why I requested the refund. Now the issue I'm having is, I believe that third-party provider is not in this country. So if they were to give me the money back, right, or even with the shipping, they're gonna end up losing out. So I think in the long run, my goal may be to just, to just keep the heat press as a backup in case anything happens to my regular heat press, because I am dealing with a machine that really doesn't have that much warranty, and even if it does, it's backed by Amazon. I made sure this time, because after that happened with that 15x15, whenever you purchase a product, always make sure it has the Amazon sign on it, as Amazon Prime or something, because when it's Amazon Prime, they usually keep them in stock, and if they don't have it in stock, they'll refund you the money and they'll have you ship it back with a free shipping label, so you don't have to worry about paying for shipping. Right? So basically, the reason why I have three heat press machines now is because I have now the 12 by 15. I have a 12 by 15. I have a 15 by 15, and also I have a 16 by 20. Now, who knows? Maybe I might do a giveaway if I can get to like the 10,000 subscriber count. I might give it away, or I might just keep it. But as far as I know, when it comes to equipment, if you notice in my shop, a lot of my equipments are doubled. That's because I learned my lesson from the past. When I was just doing it as like just hobby before I LLC, I had an image that needed to be done for somebody, and I was using my Silhouette. Now, I didn't do so great with like doing contour cutting and all that stuff on the image itself and the software, and this was like a while ago. Now Silhouette is just fabulous when it comes to like setting up the image to be cut. So anyway, so what ended up happening was my Silhouette machine, my Cameo, my portrait that I had at the time, I only had one. Decided that because I had pressed the image to be done and it didn't do it, I pressed it again to print it again. To cut it again, and I did like multiple like times of telling it to cut, that the machine itself had too much commands that it couldn't execute. So what it decided to do is just shut down for a little bit. By shutting down, it wasn't the machine turned off. Kathleen Downman, hey, what's going on? it was just me giving it too much commands, and it had to like just process all that information. So it just started cutting things really slow, and then eventually it just stopped, and it would cut, and it would stop. And at the time, I was like, what the heck? This thing must be broken. It wasn't broken. It was just me that was forcing it to do too much all at once, all at the same time. So I ended up getting a bigger Cameo because I thought at that time I had learned from that mistake, like, oh, I should have gone bigger on top of just purchasing that machine twice. So all this is going to tie up to the heat press machine. So yeah, so what I ended up doing was like purchasing another heat press, another Silhouette Cameo machine. And this time I had purchased the Silhouette Cameo 3, I believe, because at the time that's the one that came out. So I got the latest one, and I was good to go. But after I purchased that, I ended up purchasing the what's that thing called, Cricut Air 2. And the reason why is because even though I had that Silhouette Cameo, there was certain cuts that was too intricate that I could not do with the Silhouette Cameo. So this is why it's always good to have two machines that do the same thing, but one specializes in certain things. So for example, right, if you notice in all my videos, I normally keep the big platen on that does shirts only, in certain items. I never remove it really to do a hat, except for when I was in the shop where I would remove it to do the hat and all that, because I never felt the need to. I was always doing shirts, and when I did hats, it was so random that, you know, it didn't really matter. Even when I did like mugs, I don't need to remove the platen. I just unscrew it, screw the mug plug on, and then I could just do mugs and screw back the regular t-shirt platen. So again, this is gonna tie into the heat press. So what ended up happening was, let me recap myself for a minute. Yeah, so when it comes to having multiple heat press, it's actually a good thing. Like, if one breaks, the other one takes place of the other one. You know, you may not have full capability of the one that you're using that was primarily made for whatever job that you normally do, but it does the same work. It's just not at the same, you know, size. So I'm thinking maybe 10,000 subscribers, give it away. But with the rate that I'm growing, it's gonna be so slow. I doubt that at the end I'm gonna end up giving it away. But who knows? I may just give it away at the 10,000 subscriber mark. If I gave it away, all you would have to do is just pay for shipping, and then that's it. You know? Come on. Thanks. Yeah, so alright, sorry if I'm not talking. I'm just trying to focus on like what's going on. Yeah, so I'm gonna end up keeping the heat press, maybe not, who knows. But yeah, I have 15x15 auto, semi-auto, whatever you call that, whatever. I got the
Please take the parking ticket. Please enter following the guidance.
I got the, what's that thing called? Um, press, and I got definitely the manual press. So I can do tutorials on any one, and I kind of love it. But at the end of the day, who knows? I may leave it for when I actually have my shop grow to an astronomical um, size, right? Basically, I'm saying a bigger size. um, yeah, they're trying to wait. I was waiting for somebody to move out of the parking space. So, which is great because normally I have to like rush to find parking, and I can just do it with ease. But either way, so that's what's going on. On top of that, I'm basically right now set to do a video on like what everything I do, so I can actually focus on getting more customers. Um, I think that space was for me. It's tight. Ooh, that's tight. Damn, this thing's tight. Mm. Alright. What time is it? Just gonna look at the time real quick. Oh, snap. I got a little bit of time. Alright. Yeah, so nice. I'm happy. I'm excited. Like I found the best spot ever. Like in this garage. Like normally I don't find a spot that's like literally right next to the elevator. But yeah, I'm excited. Good things all around. So yeah, the channel is moving, growing. Um and then outside of the channel, my shop, as you can see, is improving. Next thing we're gonna focus on is advertisement, promotion of the website, promotion of the new brand. I started with a name for it, but when I sent it over to my copyright guy, um, sorry, my trademark guy, he said that the name was already taken. So I'm not talking about my Levi Apparel name. I'm talking about new brand I'm trying to start because I'm already LLC'd and all that. Yeah, so like the reason why I was trying to start a brand, so this is future talk. The reason why I was trying to start a new brand is because I do custom design stuff for people, but I don't want to do it all the time. You know, I want to be able to show my designs and also be able to show people what I can do and showcase all the different things that I can do, and get paid for it for my talents and abilities. I went to art school, and there's designs that I know how to do and certain things that I want to do and certain niches that I want to get into, right? So, you know, I already have a place for my custom design company. Um, Now I need to start the brand so it can do things, because one of the things that I realize is like, I have a religious name for this channel for a reason, because I'm basically religious based, whatever, right? Um, so my wife, she was shopping and everything that we saw had skulls. So you, the regular people, don't understand. Like for us who's in the religious type of mindset, it's like skulls to us means death. Now I don't want to wear something that has skulls on it, aka meaning death, um because I don't want to promote that, you know if that's what somebody wants to do when it comes to like my custom design company, I can't stop them so long as I take the job. If it's not too busy and I take the job and it's needed, I do whatever they want, right? But when it comes to my brand, I get to do what I want to do. So that's the future right now. I kind of gotta go, but I'm trying to give you the tidbit about what's about to happen. So we're gonna try and focus on creating a brand. On top of creating the brand, we're gonna try create niche clothing for it, and the niche I want to go to is religious space. So now you'll have Bible verses on there, but it's not just gonna be Bible verses, just words. It's gonna be an image, and within the image is like the words. So technically, you're looking at the image and the words mingled together, right? So I got that going on. Plus, I got more videos coming. Levi Pearl, like and subscribe. Here we go.